Hi, my name is Courtney, and I'm going to be talking about the book Amazing You, written by Dr. Gail Salt, illustrated by Lynn Avril Kravitz. It is called Amazing You, Getting Smart About Your Private Parts. It is a first guide to body awareness for preschoolers, for both boys and girls. The book is meant to teach and answer questions about meant to answer questions to preschool-age children that are beginning to develop. The book covers the basic genital structures of both males and females, including words such as vagina, labia, penis, and testicles. It also briefly shows how a human being develops and changes physically over time from birth to adulthood, and that these changes are completely normal. This book also teaches that a baby grows from an egg and a sperm joining together and then growing inside of a mother's stomach called the uterus. It teaches briefly about the feeding inside of the stomach and the birthing process also. Since this book is meant for the preschool age group, it is meant for the parents to read it to the children or with the children. This book has helpful hints for the parents in the back and explains that it is normal for this age group to begin to ask a lot of questions and that parents should answer them honestly and by using anatomical terms. The parental hints also say that it is normal for this age group to begin masturbating and that parents are encouraged to tell them to do so in a private place. It encourages parents to teach children that no one else should be touching their private parts and that their private parts are only theirs. As far as pregnancy, the hints explain that most children in this age group are not ready to learn about intercourse quite yet, nor do they need to know what intercourse means. So you can give them the minimal information about pregnancy without lying, such as the sperm and the egg, how and where the baby grows, and where it comes out of. That's what they're most curious about. The reviews on this book are sort of mixed. There's some good and some bad, although most of the reviews are positive, and most people say that their children do enjoy the book and that it helped ease the awkwardness of introducing these topics and answering all the questions that their children had. Some of the most common complaints of this book are that it was too graphic for the age group that it's targeting. A lot of people say they used it for a little bit older, so more like 5, 6, or 7-year-olds instead of 3 or 4-year-olds. Another common complaint is that it only shows circumcised penises, so mothers of boys with uncircumcised penises felt like they couldn't read this to their son because then they would feel like they were different, and that would make them feel, awkward if they were to ever see other boys that were circumcised. Another common complaint is that it shows childbirth, or it describes childbirth too detailed, and that mothers would say their little girls would make comments that they were never going to have children because it described it too painful or what have you. The occasional terrible reviews on here show that our society is scared of sexuality, and that is why it encourages parents to just be honest and start at a young age with the open talking and not lying. I'll be the first to admit that I did have some of the same thoughts that these bad reviews had, such as I would never read this book to my 4-year-old, but after reading the book and reading more of the reviews, I do understand that it's important to start this at a young age and to be honest and open with your children. Some of the pages I wanted to show, the first one I just thought was funny. It says, "Do you have a funny name for your private parts?" And then she's saying pee-pee, and then over here it's 2 little boys, and they're saying weenie and hot dog. And I just thought it was funny because if they weren't calling them those names, now they are, and they're telling all of their friends at school also. And then the other 2 pages I wanted to show are kind of controversial because, like we just learned in our last couple of chapters, not every male is born completely male and develops exactly like this. And so it's showing like that, and same with every female. And then the next page I want to show is also controversial because it says, it's talking about how pregnancy happens, and it's saying when a man and woman fall in love with each other and decide they want to have a baby, a man's sperm joins with a woman's egg. From the egg and sperm, the baby will grow. I think this is very controversial in this day and age because same-sex marriage and same-sex couples are beginning to have babies, more and more often. It's becoming more common. And although I know that same-sex couples cannot actually form a baby, I think this would confuse a child a lot if they did have same-sex parents. Like, there would be more questions, where did I come from? And, more questions, how did this happen? Do you not love each other? And more questions like that. So I think that the wording should be revised on this page. Thank you.